Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us. We thought at Doerr Dallas Valuations we would put together a quiz for you. From all of my team in their various parts of their gardens and houses, we've all put together a number of questions for you to answer with family, friends, with a glass of wine, or just with a cup of tea to test your knowledge on your antiques and art and jewellery. We have had great fun doing it and we hope you enjoy it. So get your pens and your papers ready and to start. Question 1. Who is the English painter known for his scenes of railways and horses, who from 1954 included a small mouse in his paintings?
Hello ladies and gentlemen. Question 2. Back in 2018, a very famous pair of shoes sold for just over £70,000. Can you tell me which famous, if not timeless, film these shoes came from?
Question number 3. By what name is Alessandro Filippi better known?
Hi guys, Ben Handy here. My first question, which is number 4 in the quiz, it's a two-part question, but it relates to the same work. Part 1 of the question is, what's the name of the artist who produced a work which was purchased by the Tate in 1976? At the time, the purchase was hugely controversial and was even discussed in Parliament. The work consisted of 120 bricks. What's the name of the artist? Part 2 is, in 1976, this work cost £2,297. Approximately, what would it be worth today?
Question 5. This is an edition of William Blake's Book of Fell, published by the Vale Press in 1897. The question is, who was the illustrator? Clue: he was also the founder of the Vale Press and the illustrator of 2 books by Oscar Wilde.
Question 6. When we value a diamond, we have to assess its quality, and 2 of the things that we look at are its colour and its clarity. So, for example, a diamond could be an F VS1. The F represents the colour grade and the VS1 represents the clarity grade. My question to you is, what letter represents the top colour grade for diamonds?
I thought I'd come outside to ask the questions. So behind me is the wisteria, and somewhere around here is the dog who's fallen asleep already. My questions are sculptural, but also a bit like a Where's Wally? In other words, you've got to spot them, or at least know where they are. And each of the artists featured in the article are represented here, and the pieces are all in the heart of the West End of London. And you'll maybe kick yourself if you find out in the end where they are, maybe not. First one is question number 7, which is by Barbara Hepworth and is Winged Figure.
Question 8 is, what is the most expensive car sold at auction and when?
And hello ladies and gentlemen, it's back to me, Alistair here. So, question 9. Before you are 3 watches from my collection. What I'd like to know is, what do they all have in common? What do all these 3 watches have in common?
Question number 10 is, which is the UK's only endemic species of bird?
Question number 11. The famous British artist Grayson Perry, who's currently on TV with his TV programme Grayson's Art Club, he has a muse which he often depicts in his art. What's the name of his muse? This might or might not be a person.
Question 12. This is the first English printed map of Asia, based on a Jodocus Hondius map of 1623. Question: who was the English cartographer?
Question 13. What colour is the gemstone sapphire?
And question number 14 is Henry Moore and a sculpture screen. Now, you'd probably have to look up to see this one, so it's perhaps the trickiest of my questions, but it's not impossible, and it's pretty central too, just off Berkeley Square.
Question 15. What is the most expensive ever handbag sold at auction in the world?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, question number 16. The Stratocaster, Telecaster, Jaguar and Jazzmaster were all guitars made by which company?
Question 17. On which Mediterranean island was El Greco born?
Question 18. This is a valuation question regarding Banksy, the street artist. What's the highest price ever achieved at auction for a Banksy girl with balloon print? Now that's the image of the little girl trying to hold on to the balloon, and the balloon is red. It's also a signed print and it's an edition of 150. What's the highest price ever achieved? Bearing in mind, in 2004, when it was released, its purchase price was under £100.
Question 19. This is the back cover of a first edition by Graham Greene. Can you tell me what the title of the book is? I'll also read some blurb from the front flap which may help. This says, Mr. Graham Greene's new novel is a modern variant on a theme which in the last century attracted Mark Twain and other writers. A story of new world hope and innocence, set in an old world of violence.
Okay, so question 20. What is the name of the iconic jewellers that featured in the 1960s movie starring Audrey Hepburn?
Number 21 is on the frontage right outside the Ralph Lauren store. The piece, I'm pleased to say, has been cleaned up and they've taken the pigeon poop off it, and it looks amazing, and sits sort of in that little quarter in front of Ralph Lauren and Cartier, and it looks magnificent now, and it's part of a redevelopment of the paving area in and around New Bond Street, Cork Street and so on.
Well done for completing all the questions. We hope that you found them a little bit difficult and some easy ones in there too. Now to give you the answers. The answer to question 1 is Terence Cuneo. The mouse became his trademark, and he was also the official artist for the Queen's coronation in 1953. So the answer is Terence Cuneo. Just to let you know, Terence Cuneo's work can be found in Lloyd's of London if you want to go and find the mouse.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, back to me again. Now the answer to question 2, if you didn't get it, here's a little clip.
Power laces, all right.
That's right, it was Back to the Future 2. Now if you said Back to the Future, unfortunately you're not right.
The answer to question 3 is Botticelli. His older brother Giovanni was a bit of a porker and was known as Botticello, Little Barrel.
Question number 4. The name of the artist is Carl Andre and the title of his sculpture is equivalent number 8. The work cost £2,297 in 1976, but it's worth probably around $5 million today.
The answer to question 5. The illustrator is Charles Ricketts, generally recognised as a British artist, though his mother was in fact French. Among many other achievements, he designed the type and illustrations for the Vale Press books, which amounted to over 80 volumes.
So the answer to question 6 is the letter D.
Here are the answers. Number 7 is on the side of John Lewis. It's on the Hollis Street side. So as you look at the building on Oxford Street, it's on the right and is huge, probably 30 feet high. It's been there as part of the building when it was first constructed. So number 7 is on John Lewis, Oxford Street.
The answer to question 8 is a 1962 Ferrari 250 GTO. It sold at RM Sotheby's in Monterey in 2018 in August, and it was lot 247, and it sold for $48 million.
And the answer to question number 9 is they are all military issued watches. Starting on the left, we have a 1939 World War II Spitfire pilot's watch. In the centre, we have a 1972 US Army issue, probably airman's watch. And last on the right, we have a World War II Murris Army timepiece.
The answer to question 10 is the Scottish crossbill, which was identified as a separate species in 1960. Its song is different to the one that you find in, say, the New Forest. They say it sings with a Scottish accent. If you also said the St Kilda wren, it's really a subspecies, but you can pat yourself on the back and have a bonus point for that.
The answer to question 15 is a crocodile skin diamond encrusted Hermes Birkin handbag. It sold at Christie's in Hong Kong and the sale price was 2.94 million Hong Kong dollars, which equates to just under £300,000. The bidding went on for around about 15 minutes and it finally sold to an unknown bidder in the room. Victoria Beckham is reported to own over 100 Birkin handbags, and a similar bag also sold at Christie's in 2019 of June in London for £162,500. So handbags may be a good investment.
Question 11. The answer is Grayson Perry's muse is his teddy bear called Alan Measles.
The answer to question 12. The cartographer's name is, of course, John Speed. Can't see them perhaps, but his initials IS are here and the date 1626. Though in fact this issue of the map was published in 1676.
So the answer to question 13, what colour is a sapphire? Jessie?
A sapphire can be purple and orange and pink and green and blue and red.
Ah, fantastic. So yeah, sapphire can be a whole rainbow of colours, but it can't be red, because when it's red, it's actually a ruby.
Answer to number 14 is high up above the Hermes shop entrance on the new Bond Street building, and it formed part of the old Time Life magazine building the entrance of which is on Conduit Street. It's now regular offices, but when the building was first designed as an architectural feature, this Henry Moore frieze was part of it, and indeed the plaster for the frieze is still on view at Henry Moore's home down in Much Haddam, or in Perry Green, just outside Much Haddam in Hertfordshire, so you can see the original concept.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and back to me. So the answer to question 16 is Fender. The Leo Fender company started in the 1950s and then subsequently bought out by CBS in 1965.
The answer to question 17 is Crete. El Greco, the Greek, real name Domenicos Theotokopoulos, was born on Crete, which was then part of the Venetian Empire, moved to Venice itself to study under Titian. From there went to Rome and finally ended up in Toledo, where he painted all his greatest paintings.
Question 18. In September 2019, a signed version of Banksy's print Girl with Balloon, which is an edition of 150, made £200,000 at Sotheby's.
The answer to question 19. The title of the novel is The Quiet American. Ironically, while the reader values the content, the collector values the jacket more than anything else.
So the answer to question 20 is, of course, Tiffany's.
Question number 21 has moved around a bit since I've lived and worked in London. It was once on a rather curious shabby corner by a nightclub and the old Aeroflot building. It's now moved, but it's by Elizabeth Frink. Question number 21, and it's Horse and Rider.
So we hope you've had real fun in doing our quiz. The total is out of 21 questions, so do let us know how you do. We would be really interested. We hope you managed to get the answers. If you've got any questions regarding the quiz, again, let us know, and we hope you all have fun. Take care and stay safe.